Greetings everyone, my name is Etterville, and welcome to the final part of my Let's Play of Mega Man X Hart-Hunt. Here, I'm refighting Vile in order to show off his weakness, and showing that he doesn't react that much to it regardless, but he's even more of a pushover with this. I try finishing off with the Hadouken, but it's kinda difficult to execute due to the button presses in tandem with his faster movements. Like I said in the previous part, the Hadouken isn't a one-shot kill anymore. It's a 3-shot kill against the bosses, where it does 10 points of damage a piece. Though, you have to be more careful, as if you get hit once, you cannot execute the Hadouken anymore. And especially with some of the boss projectile speeds and whatnot, you can get hit while executing it, and thus lose the ability unless you use a sub-tank. But it really speeds up the boss fights, and I really should have used it against the 8 Maverick fights like Chill Penguin, etc, and the other slower ones, instead of dragging it on with the weaknesses. Oh well, now with that out of the way, it's time to go after the big man himself, Sigma. We start off with the same vertical climb as in the original game. We have the worms coming out from the right and left sides of the wall, just in case you want to refill your weapon or life energies. And there's Sigma and Velguarder. There's an odd text box glitch that occurs here, as well as the Dr. Light capsule for getting the Hadouken. I presume it's a glitch with my emulator. The fight with Velguarder is about the same, though it seems like Velguarder himself is a bit more aggressive, and definitely about 50 or 25% faster than the usual. Seriously, there were several failed runs where his pounce just reached across the room, and I didn't have enough time to react. And he still gets knocked back when you use the full charge shot, which is pretty funny. So just repeat the same strategy as before, and if you want to speed up the process even further, just use Shotgun Ice. And I decided to finish off the silly way by just dropping a moving platform right onto him. And down he goes. Now, time to face off against Sigma himself. Now, Sigma basically has the same tactics as in the original game, though he, like Velguarder, seems to be 25 or 50% faster when he rockets against the room as well as doing the wall jumps. Seriously, over here, if you're not careful, you can easily get nicked by him when he jumps up. There are several failed runs that occurred here when I couldn't jump out of the way fast enough. So always be on your toes and stay to one side of the wall. His weakness is his head point, and whenever his lightsaber is up, you can't really hit him. But really, it's just a faster reaction battle, like in the original game. His weakness is unchanged, and his strategies are about the same. Alrighty, Sigma has been defeated. At least his first form. And now it's time to face off against the final boss's final form, Velguarder Sigma. Now, the main difference from the original game seems to be that how fast his arms seem to react. Other than that, it seems to be about the same fight as before. That's the only difference I can really see about the speed his arms or hands react. The fire, the beams, they seem to be about the same. So of course, the only way you can damage Sigma here is by shooting him in the head with a fully charged buster. Any lower will not do any damage to him, or by using the rolling shield. You can either just wall jump from the right or left wall into his hands, but it's a bit risky as you can get hit by the bottom claws. And while on those hands, you have to make sure you don't get hit by the lightning bolts, or get smacked by one of the other arms flying towards it. Of course, you can just dodge the lightning by standing on the left or right edges of the platform. And whenever he's releasing fireballs from the bottom of his head or those lightning, just go to the opposite side of the room. Same as the original game. Rinse and repeat, and you should go down. I decided to just finish him off with the stylish way, with the fully charged bowling shield. And bam! Down Sigma goes. Even with the tougher Mavericks, stage difficulties and whatnot, Sigma has fallen. As such, X teleports out to the exploding Sigma palace falling to the sea, just like the original, and he reminisces on the events of this game. Well, I guess this is best time as any to reflect on my general thoughts of this game. Or modifications specifically. If I were to sum it up right here now, I would give this mod or hack 2 thumbs up for what it's trying to accomplish. In my own words, what this hack is trying to do is trying to make a much more challenging experience for the original Mega Man X game. As the original Mega Man X, if you play it enough times, it becomes quite easy, with the weapons being quite powerful in conjunction with each other, as well as the enemies and bosses not being too smart or strong, with the exclusion of a few like Boomer Quang, Sting Chameleon, etc, etc. So, what this hack did was increase the difficulty of the stage enemies as well as the stage layouts to a good degree. And I like many of the changes. From, for example, Storm Eagle being a much more not really claustrophobic, much more precision jumping experience, long jumping. Sting Chameleon being more of a creative cave stage. Flame Mammoth having the smarter mine pit throwers, as well as the flames all over the place. Spark Mandrill was much more of a hectic electric jumping area. Chill Penguin was about the same, though more enemies. Continuing on from there, Armored Armadillo was a bit more of a hectic stage as well, though in the sense that you had to memorize what was coming up, or have lightning fast reflexes. A little bit less than lightning, but you get my drift. And let's see, Launch Octopus. Launch Octopus was not too bad, but quite a bit of its challenges was in the boss. And as for Boomer Quanger, the stage was quite difficult to go initially, but it's a quite fun climb up. In fact, I would say that, in general, even though the stages are harder than before, they fit the general themes that were placed by the original designers of the original game. It's just a harder rendition. So I applaud the Hart-Hunt and the community of InsaneDifficulty.com for staying true to the original themes this game gave. This hack does emphasize a lot of quick reactions and memorizations of the game specifically, like for example the dash jumping, you have to get good at that, as well as some of the neon jumping. Though neon jumping is mostly optional, excluding if you want to get all the upgrades, I think. I never really used the fully charged Storm Tornado, so don't quote me on that. Even though the Sigma stages were a jump in difficulty, I still found them to be pretty fair, as several of the enemies and hazards came in previous stages. Like for example, the wall jumping and shooting at the gunvolts made me prepared for all those mega tortoises and jumping from the walls and whatnot. It's been telegraphed, not really telegraphed, but the game has taught me before how to proceed with those. And in addition to all those new weapons having less energy, it challenges me to focus on using my weapons more conservatively, and less spamming them. Unfortunately, that also resulted in me refusing to use many of the weapons when I really should have, like the Shotgun Ice and Fire Wave. But really, it makes me think more conservatively, and it makes the weapons feel more powerful for emergency situations. Which I feel kind of should be, as these are special weapons. But in the same regard, one of my favorite things for playing Mega Man games is using all the creative special weapons, so it's a bit of a trade-off there. In general, I would say that the bosses as well were pretty good upgrades, and everything else was pretty good as well. I do like the fact that you actually had infinite lives or infinite retries, so no matter how much you failed, you could always reset to where you wherever you were at the last checkpoint without too much frustration. Even though my death counter says 0, it really should be in the 5 to 600s regions due to all the resets, like for example in Boomer Quanger's stage or Spark Mando's stage with all those neon jumps. But overall, with the sum of the parts of this hack, I say it's a great addition to the Mega Man X game. I didn't mention it before, but Hart-Hunt also released a soft type hack. What that does is, it doesn't really change the level layouts or the items, but it does increase the difficulty of the enemy and boss AIs. So, if you don't feel up to going to the full challenge of the hard type, I don't blame you, then try doing the soft type patch. It's a nice compromise between the two. Overall though, I give this game a solid 2 thumbs up, and recommend it to others who are looking for a good challenge. A good fair challenge in most regards. There's some hiccups around the way, but those are slowly being ironed out as Hart-Hunt patches the game and makes improvements and whatnot. So, I strongly recommend this for anyone who's looking for a more challenging Mega Man X SNES Classic experience. What I'm hoping for in the future is for other hackers to take up the mantle and release more Mega Man X fan games, or ROM hacks, like the ROM hacking communities of Mega Man 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the NES. Especially as there's now a map editor out for Mega Man X. I'm really looking forward to playing more of these and for others to follow Hart-Hunt's steed. Well then, it's been quite a ride. Thanks for watching, viewers, and have a nice day. See you in the next LP. Toodles!